Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and I guess this is going to be part 2 of the Great Deathpression. That's what I'm calling this little mini-series, as a lot of trading stuff has happened recently. So it's currently Monday. I think this happened yesterday, about 30 hours ago, or yeah, yesterday on Sunday, about 30 hours ago. So around 6:25 p.m. EST, Sub, for the first time in a while actually, um, announced something on the Discord server. So, if you've been playing trading the past 2 days, you know that recently they did a lot of bad changes, like increasing the tax to 10% for things over 10 million gems, um, getting rid of trading legacy orbs, 700k gems to remove attachments. It was just really bad stuff, just very bad. Um, Nobody liked the update, and they said they did all this. Oh, and the biggest one was removing gems from the economy. They called them dupe gems, but I'm like 90% sure they're not duped, because they capped everyone's gems at 350. So the fact that there was a limit on how much gems people had made it seem more suspicious that there was quote unquote they're all just, duped. So people were worried that this could be probably like the end of trading, really, because there is no more profit really when you go from a 2% tax to a 10% tax. Even finding items under, under value or under wrap, with such high taxes, it's like you don't really profit. So, trading for profit just kind of doesn't make sense anymore. And so at that point, you know, might as well not trade, right? And then also for people who actually had gems, getting their gems taken away is just a sick move from the devs over some dupe gems that, you know, we had duping since basically, like, I think the last time there was a major duping incident was probably like what, last year? Maybe it was this year, but I think the last time it was like sometime in December of 2024. So the fact that they're just now addressing this instead of earlier kind of also points some eyes to like, why didn't do anything sooner? Just making all these changes that are just sudden. As you can see though, the gem leaderboard has recovered, which I also do question, because it's like, if how do we already have like 5 billionaires back in the game when everyone like 2 days ago had a cap of 350? I'm not really sure where those gems came from, but I mean, because listen, five, this is probably 6 or 7. This is like legitimate, like 6 or 7 billion. Like what, 1, 2.1, 3.4. This is 3.6. So that's 7. 7 billion gems is top 5. That didn't even really cover the whole top 50. Like when the update first happened. So I mean, again, it's a little bit suspicious, but I mean, I guess it's not entirely out there, but we'll see. Um, but anyway, so yeah, just crazy how they wiped out billions and billions of gems just like that. But we do have some good news. So, first off, if you want to remove attachments from something, so let's say like I'm a Dragonfire, it only costs 25k gems, which is nice. Down from the 700k. And the reason why that was a problem was because 700k gems to do something that used to cost 100 crystals, which crystals are like the easiest currency to get. They literally take like, you can get like a good 200 crystals just by doing like a couple quests. So like this right here, literally 65 crystals just for being in game for 20 minutes. So I got that for free, right? And you have all these other quests. So crystals are easy to get. Gems, though, are a paid currency. If you just go here, they're all paid currency. You can't get gems other than paying for them. So, you know, uh, not a good look on Deathball to basically make you have to pay to do things that used to be free. But yeah, so not too good. But yeah. So anyways, they reverted that change. They also lowered the tax on items. Okay, so they lowered the tax on everything. So let's take the Shining Sauna. So I think if you sell anything under 9, yeah, so anything under 1 million will have a 1% transaction fee. So if I put 1 million, it's going to be 2%, and I think it's 2% for everything from 1 million to 10 million. So if I do 9 million, yeah, 2% transaction fee. Now if I do 10 million, it's going to be 5%. Oh no, not 5%, 3% actually, sorry. Yeah. So now it's a 3% versus a 10%, which again is still an increase compared to the 2%, but that is a much more reasonable tax increase, and I wish they did that initially. In fact, honestly, if they did 5% at the beginning, that would have been a lot better than 10%. I feel like 5% would have been still an outrage from people, but not as of an outrage. Because I mean, you can still kind of profit with 5% tax. I don't think they got rid of taxes from direct trades. I think that still exists. But I haven't really traded in a while, so I'm not really exactly sure if there is still a direct tax, but I would assume so. But I mean, 3% is a lot better. I think, personally, I think if they genuinely do want to deflate the economy just a little bit over time, it should be closer to like maybe 4% or 5%. 10% is way too high. That's just way too high. But yeah, good on them for that. And reverting those changes. You still cannot trade, to my knowledge, you still cannot trade legacy orbs, so they're still untradeable. You can't sell them on booth. They still did the minimum pricing for the battle pass items, or maybe they kept that. I don't think they didn't mention it, so I don't think they changed it. So I think there is still the minimum pricing for like auras, which actually I'll see. So like, let's say I want to sell like Eclipse aura. Oh no, there doesn't look like there's a fee. Well, no, that's not a battle pass item actually. Yeah, minimum price for this is 2 million. I don't know how they determine that, but I guess it's like they go off of recent sells and then basically say you can't sell for lower than this, which I feel like kind of removes the point of like okay, I feel like having a minimum sale on items like that is kind of stupid because, for one, auras don't have wrap. They can't be price manipulated. I guess it only protects people who like don't know that their aura is worth like a certain amount, if that makes sense. I think there should be like minimum sale prices like on items as like Aegis, Champ, Divine, like literally any mythical, any like Draco should have a minimum price of like 240 or maybe like 200. It should be a little bit like, I mean, I think you should be able to sell it as low as you want to, but it shouldn't be like, so I think it should be like 50% of wrap. So like if wrap is 240, you should be able to sell it for lower than that. You know what I mean? To keep things, I think, like simple. Because yes, that does mean like, well, over time people can try to manipulate it down. The moment it sells at like, you know, I don't know, I think Draco's at 250 right now. Which is another thing I'm about to get into. But like the moment it resells at 250, like it goes back up. So now you have to sell it to yourself, which is how people price manipulate. Or they get like someone else to do it. But either way, it makes it a bit more complicated to just like price manipulate items. So yeah, I think there's that to take account for. But doing that for auras is stupid, in my opinion. But it's whatever. So one other thing. Oh yeah, so about this. So everybody was worried about, you know, their gems being gone and gems being not worth as much. And there was a huge, insane rush to just buy, like, sell items cheap, which is why Draco's plummeted in value. It hasn't even been sold really. But Dracos, Hikaru Axe, like if you just look at the graph, like this was it before the, not even, no, this was like it before the update. Like about 160, and then it's just been plummeting. And that's simply because people, well, gems did get cut out the economy, but also people were scared of losing their gems. Or having like, they were basically quick selling because they're trying to get as much value. But then like the economy kind of bounced back because, as you can see, there's still a lot of people with high gem items or gem value. So not as much as before, clearly, but it is still enough to where most like of the cheaper items didn't really drop. Like, for example, like Cyber Enigma didn't really drop. Yeah, it didn't really drop. Curse Spirit Blade dropped a tiny bit. Dahlia, I think it's been dropping. So Dahlia kind of. Colossal didn't really drop. Amethyst dropped heavily though. It was a more expensive item to begin with. I think it was at about 50 mil, and then yeah, it dropped. So it was more of the more expensive items besides like Divine. Divine didn't really drop. Divine has been stable for a while. Well, I guess it did drop. It dropped by like 5 mil, 5 to 7 mil. So still a drop, but it's not as significant. Diamond Inception has been falling like crazy. And then let me see, is there any other items that's been dropping? I guess Aegis is also one of them. If you have Aegis, it did drop down to like, I think 700 or 800 mil, like clean. So I think it's like 800 or 900 mil for a clean one now, which used to be like 1.1 to 1.2 billion. So it did drop, but it's recovering. I think same as Champ. Champ is back to like a billion for a clean. Well, that's still like a little bit lower than before, but like Aegis and Champ are almost unaffected. Eclipse X, I think it went up actually. Funny. Eclipse 4 didn't really drop. I mean, a lot of items, one of the like cheaper items didn't really drop. Elf Enforcer hasn't really. Yeah, like Inferno Blade I think dropped a tiny bit. So yeah, like most items, honestly, they didn't really get affected. It was really just like if anything, it was the poses, and then it was the secret items, specifically Dracos and Hikaru Axe. Those were like the two items that dropped heavily because of this. So now you can find a Dracos for like 250 clean, which is like the first time you would be able to find a Dracos for 250. Like, it's never been this slow. So if you want a Dracos and you have the gems, I mean, now it's like the cheapest time to get it. And then I guess also Hikaru Axe, but demand is so bad that's like, you know, genuinely, like, it doesn't even look like a good sword, in my opinion. It shouldn't have been the secret. This season's secret is way better. But yeah, so it was really just people panic selling. I know some people sold Laid Back for like 250 mil. And they're probably regretting it now because Laid Back is now back to like, I want to say maybe 500 to 600 mil. Just being for real. Because Divine didn't drop that much to begin with. So people, I really wish I had gems, but I just recently bought like a bunch of swords. Like I bought this, this. I made this actually yesterday. I think I gambled an A. I did 2 regulars, and I gambled that to an A grade. And I did 2 A grades and gambled it to the A+. This I used, I think 3. Yeah. Yeah, I bought this. Yeah. So I've been buying some stuff, but I did it before the update. I kind of wish I didn't, because then I could have sniped Like, imagine sniping a laid back for 250. I would have done it like in a heartbeat, because honestly, realistically, Divine is not dropping to like low enough to where that would make sense. Like, that would be a bad deal. So that's probably where the rich people got their gems from. I mean, it like the update didn't affect rap so badly to the point where like the most rap leaderboard didn't even change. Like, I think it dropped slightly from like 8 billion to, or 50th from like 8 billion to like 7.5. But, you know, not really a big difference. But anyways, yeah, that's the Great Deathpression Part 2. I don't think I think honestly prices are kind of stable when it comes to sword prices. Poses are a little bit, they're falling a little bit. I think like Cursed is falling. It's like now about 70 mil. Strike form, I actually don't know what strike form is at. I think it's more like 50 to 60. Steady is I think 40 to 50, 40 to 45 actually. I think like Overdrive, Reckless, Last Oath is close to 100 mil now because the demand is just so bad because of Ready. So I mean, honestly, Elf Enforcer is not, I mean, you can gamble it, but you're not gonna really have anybody buying it unless if you sell for really cheap, which is just gonna make the value of it even more cheaper, because for one, Ready exists, and then two, no one's gonna buy for over 100 mil if most people are selling under 100 mil. So there's that. But yeah, I feel like trading is kind of in a bad spot right now. I mean, it's been in a bad spot, but they just tried to reset the economy to, I guess, make sword prices cheaper. But like, all that happened is they took away people's gems. Prices didn't really change except for like 2 big items. And people are upset and furious that like over a year's worth of work is just gone. So, you know, of course people wouldn't be the happiest over this update. And again, it doesn't benefit anyone. Not even the rich, ironically. The rich don't even really benefit. They get like the corrupted swords that don't really, I mean, they look cool, but it's a weird way to say, or it's a really weird way to, you know, compliment people who spent months trying to get rich in this game. But yeah, very interesting stuff. I wonder what they're gonna do next. Hopefully we don't get a update as bad as this again. I hope they learned their mistake. Because this was obviously one of the worst trading updates we could have gotten. I wish we would have gotten some changes to Legacy Banner, not them not letting you trade orbs. They could have done a lot better with this, but yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.